I'm going to use a slightly different technique for this shell. Let's start with a line. I'm just quickly tracing the reference image so I get the number of segments right and the proportions. Okay, so like that. Let's make a copy to the left side. And let's attach them together. Okay, I'm going to chamfer this vertex. Make sure everything's set to corner and add the extrude modifier. Okay, so try a small value like, for example, 5, collapsed editable poly, and select one of the long loops like this. And scale it down and move it down. Okay, so this is going to be our base. Collapsed editable poly. And now let's select some of the edges we want to move back to create a more 3D look. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and select some vertices. Okay, sorry. Let's move back to edges. Alright, so I'm going to select these edges and I'm going to move them backwards. To create a shape like this. And actually, let's flip the whole thing so it points in the correct way forward. And from the front view, I'm going to adjust some of the parts. Okay. So that's a decent starting point. I'm going to throw on another symmetry. Collapsed editable poly. And since we have these completely flat edges over here, and I don't want to go in and try to fix them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my edge ring like this, slide the resulting edges like that, and delete these inner polys. And now I can go ahead and extrude step by step like that. and keep the 3D shape in there. Okay, and now this bottom edge loop is in 3D instead of flat. Now let's move the edge loops a bit, so the whole shell is curved. And more curved on the top than on the bottom. Just turbo smoothing. Okay. Looks like I somehow moved this sideways. Let's fix that. And add some more segments here. Okay, so the overall shape is quite good. Maybe one more edge loop over here. So the curving starts closer towards the center. And the center part doesn't matter too much since it's never going to be seen. It's usually covered with all sorts of ornaments. Okay. I'm just trying to get a nice and smooth shape. Okay, now let's give it some thickness. So the first thing we can try is the shell modifier. It looks quite okay. Increase the segments to make it a bit crisper. Okay, like that. And in this example here, It looks like we have a double shell, so we can just shift plus move it to make a copy. And move the pivot point to center. And slightly scale upwards. Okay. And that's how I would model a shell like this. And if you check the poly count, you can see that it's quite high. Just press 7 to see the number. And you can reduce it probably by reducing the turbo smooth iterations to 1, and that would be alright for a small ornament, and the details will not be seen anyway. Okay, so that brings it down to just 1/4 of that original